do you guys think it is a buyer's market right now? With the Champions League just got finished, we're kind of in between seasons right here. We always, me and Brandon were talking. There is kind of no stop to the soccer world. They just basically play all year. But right now we are in an interesting time where there's not many games being played, and a lot of the leagues are about to start back up. But I believe it is a buyer's market. What do you guys think?
I think very possibly, but it depends on your budgets, right? So you have to make sure feed your family first, make sure pay off all your, loan debts and things of this nature, all of that, get your funds straight. And then after that, potentially, if you have $100, a week to spend, then you get some pretty cool cars. Like we were talking about UEFA Showcase and Stadium Club and all this. And there's like still possibilities. Who knows if those car prices will go up, but at least at lower entry points.
Yeah. What about you, Steve? You kind of just said it, so.
And like with me, I never specifically say, hey, it's a seller or a buyer's market, because I believe they can coexist.
Yeah.
That's true.
Because I believe that there's some cards that are worth buying, and there's lots of cards that you should sell now. So to say it's sell, or buy, I'm selling and I'm buying. So right now, if we're just talking about soccer, I like the buy in soccer. I'm buying. And I'm buying for a lot more than what I was buying when I started. I didn't quit buying because stuff went up. In my most recent video, I showed where I was buying Lewandowski prisms for $8 a piece, and I'm still buying them at 60.
Yeah.
So even though they've gone up, just because I still believe that card is really can't get much lower, but it still has room to grow. So I feel like it's a buyer's market still in soccer.
Yeah.
And
of course.
And it's a seller's market I think seller's market kind of pertains to an individual card and not just a market as a whole.
So another thing that I wanted to talk about was just the popularity of some of these players. I mean, you could look at some guys that aren't even really superstars in soccer. I mean, guys that are, by no means at the level of even the second tier superstars. You check them out on Instagram, on, other social media platforms. They have so much reach and so much social media following. It's absolutely ridiculous. I don't know if you guys want to talk about that if you would want to even talk about it, but Instagram following is something that I like to follow just because, we think as Americans, who's the most popular athlete in America? In my opinion, the guy I always think of is LeBron James, right? That's
LeBron.
He's got about, I believe, 84 million followers on Instagram. I could be off, but last time I checked. And then you look at a guy like Ronaldo, he has, other than Instagram itself, like the Instagram account, he has like 250 million followers. So, and then you look at other guys that are kind of not even superstars, like on Juventus, Cuadrado. He's a midfielder. He's pretty good, but he's not by no means at the level of Ronaldo or even LeBron James. But he's still got 5 million subscribers. Or followers rather. And you compare that to like role players on basketball, they might have like 100,000 on a good day. I don't know what are you guys' thoughts about that, and do you think that actually plays a role in all of this in the sports card market?
I don't know, Steve, you want me to take it first or you take it first? I don't know.
I'll go because I don't really have a whole lot to say. I'm not the biggest social media person, to be honest. I don't have a Twitter. I barely use my Instagram. Yeah. I would be curious to know, though, because I do think popularity, social media does play into it to an extent. There's no denying that. But I would be curious to know what percentage of these social media followers are actually people that are in the card investing and stuff like that. How many are fans of them of soccer? And how many of Ronaldo's subscribers or followers are girls who think he's hot, so
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's so, to be honest, how many of the followers are actually people who are card investors, or people that are willing to pump out big money for a card? That's just something I would be curious to know, because when you have that many followers, it's going to be pretty diverse. And
Yeah.
I would think LeBron's followers, I think, are going to be a majority of people who love basketball, like the team that he plays for, and is going to be in some sort of sports card investing, where I think a Ronaldo would be a little bit more diverse, I think, in the amount of followers that he has, even though they're both super popular.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to say real quick, like, I do agree. Like, you have to think about the percentage. Like, 8 million Quadrado followers. How many of those people are really soccer card investors? Not too many. But my point is, if you have such a big following like Ronaldo or Messi, or like you have like 200 million Instagram followers, and let alone your highlights on YouTube have 30 to 60 million, there's got to be at least some sort of soccer card / sports card attention.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We have a question here. Team Hazakia says followers equals buyers ? I don't think it's a direct correlation necessarily, right? Obviously, but I know personally, guys I've been investing in, I will hit that notification on the ESPN app. So anytime they score a goal or have a big play, I'll get notified. Or I also did go out and follow a lot of the guys who I'm investing in all sports. So I think there is something to that.
So we're talking about supply and demand on the soccer Prism print runs, or over the years, in comparison to basketball, maybe. So, of course, Prism print runs across the board in all sports have probably gone up over the years.
Yeah.
That 2014 set, you do see a lot of them out there. I don't think the print run was too high, because it was soccer and not a sport that's would have been considered to be one of the main four. To be realistic, up until this point here in the States, the main four have been football, baseball, basketball, and hockey. So soccer was always an afterthought. And also, because it was an afterthought, how many of these cards were left in good condition? How many of these cards were bought and chunked? Or, you got a Messi card, throw it up on the counter, or anything like that. You'll see these cards are very condition sensitive. That's why the grades draw a premium. If you look at, and we were talking about grading earlier, and we're talking about not being much on the market. Well, there isn't much on the market of today's superstars and second tier guys. There is quite a bit of submissions out there on Messi and Ronaldo, just because they were GOATs. And when you look at the PSA ratio rates on a 10 for a Ronaldo, it's really low. I can't give you the exact numbers, but I know I looked at it and I was like, man, it's hard. It's hard to submit a Ronaldo to PSA 10 and get a 10. So even if there's a lot of them out there, it's how many of them out there are still around, how many have been trashed, and the ones that are actually out there, how many of them are still in what I would consider to be even decent condition as an 8.
Yeah.
I mean that's very true, and I've seen that the same thing as well, Steve. Like the gym min rates and all those rates for 2014 is a lot more difficult via 2018, and also when you're selling on eBay, it just feels easier to get rid of some sort of like 2014 Prism than like a 2018 Prism. Yeah, I don't know the exact print runs, but I've heard it was a 2014 Prism at like around 100,000 or a bit more than that. I have no idea, but I mean, if that's the case, that's a small comparison compared to NBA 2018 Prism, like for basketball. So I don't know that I really feel like the 2014 Prism, because through Panini's perspective, no way they're thinking we should produce millions of these cards, because it would just be oversaturated at that time. No.
Yeah.
And it's really the retail market right now that's driving these print runs. Because retail never even hits the shelves. If it does hit the shelves, it's sold out. It's not necessarily hobby product that's being mass produced. If you look at the print runs on Select, which is hobby only, has a nice print run. It's a nice card. In my opinion, it should be the card that should be the chase card.
Yeah.
Because Prism and Optic now has not only has it been mass produced because of retail, the quality control has gone to crap for lack of a better term, because they just pump it out so quick that you're getting off-centered cards. You know, you buy a pack of Prism, you're happy that you pull a Zion, and the thing's looking at you 70-30. You're like, yeah, this. How am I going to move this to? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah. It's definitely interesting. It's going to be really interesting to see how Panini reacts because, yeah, like you said, I can't find any sports, any sports cards. I just went to Target just a few days ago to look, weekly, retail hunt or whatever, and literally they had Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Magic the Gathering stacked. I mean, you could buy for days. I look at sports cards, nothing. There was the Topps Max Attack or whatever for soccer. I bought a couple of those, and just because I needed to crack some wax. But yeah, man, it'll be interesting though to see how Panini and Topps really, if they start to print more. I'm sure they will, but it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's a business. They're going to do what they got to do to make money. Hopefully, it doesn't flood the market too much. Grading is going to still keep cards valuable just because the quality control is terrible. Getting a PSA 9 and a 10 nowadays is, even though you're pulling a chromium card fresh out of a pack, you better look that thing over.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. And so that's, of course, interesting. We have no control over that, though, like none. So it's important to kind of take the print run numbers with a grain of salt because we literally can't affect it at all. But so we've talked a lot about basically as much as I can think of, except for strategy. One thing I wanted to touch on here as we come towards the end of the episode is, what is your guys' current strategy on buying, selling soccer cards? Because it as it coming in fresh, new from other markets, from basketball, from baseball, it can be a little bit overwhelming. You guys have any tips for new soccer card collectors or investors? Just take trips to the trade, anything like that?
I mean, based off my experience from selling soccer cards, and I've just recently started doing that because I've done basketball cards before. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a lot of liquid out there, but my philosophy is it's a devil's game because valuetainment, Warren Buffett, Ray Dalio, every successful person's trying to play a devil's game. How can you turn $1 into $2 into $4, so on, and maybe that could be buying a raw Prism card on a player you think who'll spike up in price for whatever reason. If he's a young, promising player, or you can take the other route, buying a blue chip player like, I don't know, Didier Drogba or somebody like that, and just waiting a while, right, until he becomes somewhat relevant, or Andre Pirlo because he's coaching Juventus now. I mean, there's a bunch of ways to do it. In terms of buying, maybe have a watch list of 5 to 12 players because that's similarly to the stock market. I don't know, and maybe a couple brands you like, and just study maybe 1 month or longer, right? So a lot of research, a lot of education, and you just have to listen to yourself as well, because you can hear a lot of top 5 out there and everything like this, right? Even though those are fun to watch, but it's like if you get on Antoine Griezmann and Ronald Koeman makes Griezmann a striker and he plays phenomenal, okay, now all those prices can potentially go up 2x. I don't know, you know what I mean? Yeah,
no, I definitely think all those are great things to take into consideration. The biggest takeaway from that is trust yourself.
Yeah. At
the end of the day, do I make top 5 videos? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do I put a lot of time and effort into doing my my due diligence and trying to figure out what is the best buys at the time of the video? Absolutely. But it is all opinion based, and it is, they're fun to watch. Top 10, places to eat. It could be whatever. But they are fun, but definitely do your own research. That is, in my opinion, the most important thing. Watch videos, highlight videos, goals and skills videos are great way to really see what a player has to offer. Obviously, watching full games doesn't hurt either.